Hey everyone, Nerdy checking in for another episode here on my Let's Play world, and today guys, we have a ton of stuff to pack into very, very little time. So, if you guys don't know, I have a job IRL, and I got hit with a bunch of stuff from that, and then the project that I was going to try to complete today took way longer than it should have, and about 100 things have happened that were outside of my control, so let's just try to speed through as much of this as I can so that I can show you guys what I've been doing, what things still need to be done, and some of my plans that I've come up with, because holy cow, I have been having so many ideas, and I like a lot of them. Some of them I've scrapped, but there are a ton to run through. So let's start with this. So first off, I have decided that instead of using the second layer like I was thinking in my last episode, I'm actually going to use this top layer and then just put a layer of glass over the top of the villager breeder farm so that I can take and drop them down to this level, if I can get in here. And I have been testing it over in my test world, and they don't take enough damage to die. I don't know how much damage they take. They should be fine, but I plan on taking, and they'll drop through into here. I'll have some form of cool lighting up here. I haven't figured out what it is yet. And then I'm going to have staircases running here, there, and there, going down and linking up with the pattern that we already have down here. So you guys can look forward to that. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that just yet. It is going to happen, not sure how. But that's all the plans with that. And then if we come up to this thing where we can get a good vantage point, I've also figured out some of the terraforming that I want to do. So there was some mountain or hill area right here. I got rid of that. I also want to take and smooth out this so it's more of a curve that's like actually looking nice rather than this kind of janky thing. I also want to take and get rid of this, a little bit of this, and kind of smooth out this, and then put some form of body of water, be it a pond, lake, whatever you want to call it, and then take and have a river coming from some form of Zen garden-y type thing. Take and have that flow all the way down across in front of this and over to the lake. So that'll all come, and then I want to take and pull out this bit of mountain, connect it up with that, and then also this, so that this is kind of ringed in. And then I do plan on building something on top of that. I kind of actually want to take, and if we come this way, there is a decent amount of water over here. So I'm thinking it might be cool to actually knock out quite a bit of land in this area. Not necessarily that, I might keep that, but like all of this thing, take and push all of this down, so that we have like a legit lake over here, and then have some form of, what are they called? Lighthouse. Have some form of lighthouse over here. But all of those ideas are still in the works, so I'm not going to mess with that today. And then I also have started terraforming-ish over on this, so it no longer looks like it's just kind of floating. I've given it a good base of dirt all the way around. I've also started to add in some grass, a few trees. I want to come back in and add some form of like really cool custom tree, but that happens to be the only custom tree I've ever made, and it's a bit big. So we'll have to mess with that in probably the next episode. I also am starting to add in some lighting like this. I kind of like it, but I'm also really liking the idea of doing something like that one. So not sure, maybe you guys can leave me a comment, say which one you like better. Still not decided. And then I've also been working on how I'm going to design this. So I plan on having these kind of leafy, viney type things going all the way up and around on the base. And then on the top, I'm actually thinking that it might look cooler if they're kind of hanging down, almost as if they're growing out of the rock and then not being able to get a decent grip on the rest of it and then kind of dangling down. I think that could look really cool. And I still also want to take and come in with some iron ore and decorate it with iron ore and possibly redstone ore. I have this really weird idea that might possibly work that involves taking redstone ore and then some form of circuit that would connect up all the redstone ore so that I can flick a lever and all of it will start glowing. Not sure if that would work. Maybe if you guys know how to do that, you can leave me a comment or a link to a video. I really think that could look cool, especially if we had it on all of the different columns that I plan on making. So we just like flick a lever and suddenly veins start glowing. It could look really cool. It could look trash. Haven't decided. But if we come over to here, you can see the largest amount of my progress, which is on the shelves on the storage system. And this, guys, is what has been taking me absolutely forever. I think I only timed one level digging it out, and it took me 2.5 hours for a single level. I have 5 of these, and the 5th one isn't even done, so it's taken me somewhere around 10 hours just to dig. That isn't even going and sorting all of the items, going and taking care of repairing my picks, having a bunch of ideas and having to go write those down. Absolutely insane. This project is so crazy. But in the course of doing this project, I happened to get ambushed by a zombie villager, who I then turned into this dude, and guess what he sells? So he sells Unbreaking, and then if we come up to my other villagers, or run into the wall, that works as well. Oop. If I can land, I can. I have been breeding these guys up a little bit. Apparently both of them are clerics now. I have a librarian, an unprofessioned guy, and then I also have these 3, and these 3 are the good ones because this guy sells Silk Touch, this guy sells Mending, and then this one, oh, he took me so long. This guy took me like 4 hours, but efficiency 4. So I've been able to take, and via trading with all of these guys, I have gotten quite a few pickaxes. All of them with efficiency 5, Mending, Silk Touch, and Unbreaking. And they have been so helpful. I'm so happy. So I plan on eventually filling up this shulker box entirely with pickaxes, and then having another one for axes and then shovels, and I doubt I'll do it for like diamond hoes or anything else, but the main tools, I want an entire shulker box of all of them. Anyway, getting off track. So with the storage system though, as I was building it, or really digging it, whoa, lovely flying right there. As I was sitting and digging all of this out, I started to think a little bit more on this centerpiece. So, as you guys probably are aware, this is roughly 60 blocks in diameter. So that means that when I create the splash, I'm thinking of taking and having a 40 block diameter ring down at the bottom that then expands into one that's about 70. But that would peg the water being right there, and I don't really like how close that would end up being to this wall right here. So I started thinking about a bunch of ideas like, what if I just push this outer wall back by a bunch, but then that kind of defeats the purpose of having these inlaid. Just tons and tons of thoughts and thinking and trying to figure out the best way to show off this splash of, or fountain of water, whatever the heck this center thing is going to be called. I was trying to figure out the best possible way to show it off while also showing off the storage system and still maintaining how cool this gigantic tree looks. So I, in my infinite wisdom, was like, what if I dig even more because apparently I have not been digging enough. So my current plan, hopefully it doesn't change. I'm hopefully this is the last one because I've changed this plan about 27 times at this point, is to take and go back and get rid of all of the andesite stairs besides that last row right down there. And then I'm going to take, and each of these levels will be set back by 2. I know that doesn't sound like a ton, but given that there's 5 and then that one, if I set all of these back, then we should end up going at least 8 back. And then I can take on this last one, taking like every 2 blocks, go back by 3 or something like that. I haven't fully decided, but essentially get some form of like snow cone effect, where if you guys have seen them, those snow cone bowls that take and they go kind of like this and then out, so that I would be able to take and have this splash also kind of mirroring it by going up a little bit like that. So I think what I want to do is actually step away from this because I've been digging for like the past 2 days straight. And I actually have a little time lapse to show you guys that is fairly interesting, showing all of the crazy stuff that's around this area. Oh, speaking of crazy stuff, I have another thing to show you, but time lapse first. Let's roll that. So everyone, instead of the normal music, I'm going to pop in and tell you guys a few of the things that I found both while attempting to record this time lapse and while digging. So, as you can see, there are an insane amount of mine shafts. It's just absolutely crazy. There's also another ravine. There's actually 2, now that I come to think of it. There's a very, very small one that's right behind one of these little indents. And then there's another one that's about 5 blocks back, so that's also going to get in the way. And as you can tell from this frame right here, there is also an insane amount of caves. I picked literally the worst place to dig ever. Just crazy amount of everything. And as I was taking and exploring, I found 2 more spawners. There are, I think, a total of 4 spider spawners that I have found. And then in this time lapse while recording, I found 2 zombie spawners. One is linked up to one of the mine shafts that I made. It's like literally 5 blocks from it. And then the other I will show you right now as this time lapse is coming to an end. So guys, if we take and come down to, I think it's this level, maybe? Yep, here we go. And travel down a little bit of a cave, come to the red mushrooms, and then a little bit further, we have a spawner. We have a zombie spawner, which is actually really, really useful because currently I've been having to go through quite a long nether tunnel to go to my other one, and I kind of like the idea of being able to take, and once my storage system is pushed out through this wall, I might be able to take and at the end of it, make a little hidden door or a very obvious door that goes right to that spawner, which will be absolutely epic. And then I'm trying to remember how exactly I get into these spider spawners. I think they're up here. Boop. Yep, here we go. We have 1 and a 2. Really, really close to each other. The only problem that I see here is with the whole idea of pushing back all of the levels by 2, I may end up having this thing right in the wall. But that might still be kind of cool because the thought I had was just take and kind of build very blocky boxes around them and then take and have those kind of sticking out into the storage system walkway so that it's almost as if they were there previous and then the storage system was kind of created around them. because I do want to take and use these for some form of string farm, because if I can get a fairly efficient one that I can AFK at, I can take and put a couple of shepherd villagers down at the bottom of it, and then I'll be able to essentially endlessly generate emeralds via spiders. And I also plan on that zombie one over there taking and adding a couple of clerics so that I can sit and trade rotten flesh for emeralds and just get crazy amounts of emeralds from just about everything. So I think I actually counted it up wrong in the time lapse. So we had the spawner there, there's a spawner in here, the spawner there, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, and then there's one off in that direction, so that's 7. There are 7 spawners within a 500 block radius. Is that normal? What are the chances of that? I actually legitimately want to know. I have no idea. So if you guys know, please tell me. I didn't think that this was normal. So I don't know. Lots of spawners, lots of ideas. So I think what I'm actually going to take and move to right now is getting, ooh, holy lag spike. Nice. So I want to come over to this thing now and get the villager breeder up and going so that I can start getting a lot of villagers, because I keep finding more and more projects for them. I just need villagers. So I'm going to take and build up the same villager breeder that I used in my village over there. It's from ImpulseSV's video. I'll throw a link down in the description. You should totally go watch it. He makes it all make sense, and I can semi-make sense of it. But let's take and bop over into a time lapse of me getting that farm all completed. Alright everyone, so there we have it. The farm is nearly complete. We are missing the villagers and kind of the most important part, the crops. I have actually pretty much entirely run out of everything. I think I have some carrots over at my zombie spawner, but if we come over to my storage system, well, one, I've kind of got 2 at this point. I've got that one, I've got, well, 3, because there's also that thing up there. And then this one has kind of just descended into chaos. I haven't been sorting any of these. There's just stuff absolutely everywhere. So there might be some carrots, don't know. I've also been brewing up some potions of regeneration. I think it's redstone that I need next. Am I wrong? Ooh, I am not wrong. Nice. So I've been brewing those up so that when I go to transport the villagers, I will be able to splash them with a potion of instant health and then one of regeneration, just to make sure that they make the trip completely safe and that nothing happens to them. And while I was recording that time lapse, look what we got! We got a little black kitty! So we definitely need a name for this one. I will probably leave her right here, because if we go back to my storage system, can we go back to my storage system? Rockets, work! Are you kidding me? There we go. We are up! We are going! So, back over here at the storage system. Coming in. Where were they? There they are! We also have this little black and white one, and then a pair of tabbies over here. And of course we have all of the cats over at my other village. So I'm thinking that I'm going to take in these guys. The ones that I have here in the storage system are going to stay. Kind of, you know, just give the place a homely little feel because there's a bunch of kitties everywhere. And then I'll probably start adding cats everywhere. Because if we go into... Oh, crash land. Come in here and then go into, I think it's advancements. One of these is to have one of every kind of cat. I don't quite remember which one it is. Maybe it's this one? I know that there's a cat one. Yes, this one. So I'm almost there. I only have 3-ish more to go, and then I have gotten all of the cats. So I'm really happy about that too. But that is, unfortunately, all of the time that I have for this episode. This episode is actually going to be a day late, which I am so sorry, guys. Everything just hit, and this week has been hectic as all get out. But hopefully, my next episode will be on time, and I'll be able to get somewhere with that sorting system so that we can actually find all of the carrots. So, if you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, comment what you think we should name the cats, and subscribe if you want to see more of my content. Catch y'all later. Nerdy out.